Hello everybody, this is Jason Fisher from timeandfreedom.com. Really excited to do a review on Plexus Slim. Now you might be looking at Plexus Slim right now because you're looking at that as an opportunity to maybe make some additional income or significant income. Or maybe you're looking at Plexus Slim because you are currently involved with the business and maybe you're experiencing some problems internally with that business with retention and reorder rates and keeping people active. And I hope that this review might shed some light. I feel that I have the authority to do a review like this because I've been involved with the home-based business industry for 24 years, made millions of dollars. My first business, I had 5,000 folks in that business. It dwindled down to about 56. And now I'm right now in a business model where I've got real long-term retention, 5,000 active folks. And I want to share with you, what the differences are when you're looking at a business and making sure that you find the right opportunity that will provide for you and your family. I will tell you that the most important thing that we have is our credibility, and picking the right company to throw our time and energy and reputation into is the most important thing because our credibility is worth everything. So I want to share with you this concept, and hopefully this makes a lot of sense to you. And a lot of industry leaders that have heard this for the first time, they say, this was very well said, and this really did sum up not only the problems in the home-based business industry, but the solution if you're going to earn long-term residual income. After my business dwindled down to about 56 people out of 5,000, which seems to be unfortunately so typical in the home-based business arena, there was an important universal principle that came to play because myself and a few other industry leaders at that time got together and we said, if we're going to throw our time and energy and reputation into something one more time, then we better make sure that this universal principle is applied correctly. Because if it is applied correctly, there's massive success. And if it's not applied correctly, then there's massive failure. And that universal principle is called the 80-20 rule. 80% of people don't do much while 20% of people do something, or 80% of the money is earned by 20% of the people. Now, understand this, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. You can take 10 doctors or 10 lawyers or 10 chiropractors or 10 cab drivers. 2 are going to shine and 8 aren't going to do too much. And you can't break that law or that universal principle in China or Japan or Australia. It's a universal principle, and that is that most people aren't going to do much. And it typically applies pretty consistently in the home-based business industry as well, just like in any industry. 80% of people don't do much while 20% of the people do something. And that's what I want to talk to you about, because once I learned this concept, I said, if I'm going to have residual income, I better go find something that works for the masses. Because what I started to think after the 80-20, well, what makes these businesses work is numbers. Any home-based business, numbers equal orders, and orders equal residual income. And whoever has the most numbers active, staying active, reordering every single month of the product or service is going to have the most residual income. The question is there a difference from company to company or business model to business model? I'm here to say that there is, because what I was in was a 20%er deal, or what I would call it a 5%er deal. The only people ordering in the end were the 5%ers. I didn't have a business for the 80%ers. And if I was going to throw my time and energy and reputation into this type of business one more time, I needed something for the 80s. I needed something that my mother could do, my brother could do, my next door neighbor could do. Someone that didn't have a lot of sales experience or drive or tenacity. They weren't good at handling rejections, and they weren't good at justifying, though in so many cases, great products, but that they were overpriced. And unfortunately, products in most cases in the home-based business industry that are products that people never bought before at price points that people wouldn't pay long term. So I said to myself, I got to go find something for the 80s. I've got to find something that the masses could do. And if I found that, maybe I would have a chance to win. then all of a sudden I started to look at the industries. I looked at 42 companies, and I looked at 42 companies with this in this industry, and I saw a consistent problem in this industry, and that is that when you looked at the landscape of the home-based business industry, what you saw was really all 5%ers and 20%er deals. The only people that could build that business were the 20%ers. The compensation plan was written for the 20%ers. The only people that could justify expensive products in the marketplace that were normally outside of people's buying habits on a monthly basis were the 20%ers. The only people that could find other people to purchase those type of products or services were the 20%ers. They didn't have a home for the 80%ers. Then all of a sudden the clouds parted. Not only the problems became clear, but now more importantly, and I hope this is an aha moment for you, the solution became very clear. And that is that all these companies got great products, phenomenal products, but they all start breaking this universal principle called the 80-20. And they start changing people's buying habits. People get involved with the business, and they start changing people's buying habits to the tune of $100 to $200 to $300 a month in products that they never bought before at price points that they would never buy long term. And since they started asking people to consume more than that they would normally consume of that type of product, what happens is 90 to 120 days, what's the first thing that they cancel? They cancel their auto shipment of $100 or $200 a month in products that they weren't buying previously. And not only do they quit the business, but again, the most detrimental piece of this whole conversation is that they quit being a customer on the board. They quit being a number, being active. And in this business, you need a lot of people being active if you're going to have residual income. And I said to myself, if I could find a business on two levels, number one, a business that the 80s can do and succeed with and make money at, I would have a huge, huge opportunity to not only change my life, but actually help others do the same and really be able to create residual income because I'd have the masses active. And number two was this: even if the 80%ers didn't take action, even if you gave them the best business in the world and products that really did compete in the marketplace, but let's just say they never took action. If I could find a business that it made sense for them to stay active, at least as a customer, because it didn't make sense not to be a customer. First and foremost, it made sense to be a customer, price and quality, meaning that they couldn't go out to the marketplace and buy a similar product at a better price point. What you have is the best product at the best price point. If I could find that where it really made sense for someone to stay active, not because they were chasing the money, but because it makes sense for them to put their money in that store every month, your home-based business store, then I knew I'd have a home run. Because whether people made money or not, they'd still stay as a customer. And that seems to be the overwhelming problem with this industry, is there's not enough people staying active. And we know that to be true because most typical MLM companies have 5 to 11% of their sales in any one country, in any one continent around the world, but they're in enough countries where they can come up with a success story. But where is the long-term success if there's no long-term consumption to speak about that people are buying month in and month out through any really MLM company? Now, Plexus Slim has a great product. It's a phenomenal product. But here's what happens. You have to do 100 volume a month, volume points, personal volume, to stay qualified. And the products are really, niche products. They're not products that people have to stay and buy and use long term. People look at it as not a necessity product. They look at it as a luxury product. And they're really starting with the mindset of starting that product, not with the long-term mindset that they're going to be a customer long-term. And you see a lot of attrition in that business, as well as a lot of other companies. So what I want to share with you, what we have found, what I have deemed to be the only business, and many now other industry leaders have deemed to be the only business right now in the home-based business arena, actually two of the only FTC compliant companies to date right now. We are excited about what we have. I've been involved with this business now for 12 years. I've got 5,000 active customers. 98% are just consumers. Only 2 or 3% actually refer others, but I've got the other 98% consuming, which is what I wanted. That's what I wanted in a long-term business. And we found the only business model that really has successfully created residual income long-term in 33 years. You know, it took us 19 years to get to 500 million in net growth. And 8 years later, we did another 500. And 4 years later, another 500. In the last 16 months, we've done 500, which took us originally 19 years to do. We've done successfully just in the last 16 months. So it's really huge what's taking place. We are right now the largest direct sales company in U.S. sales volume, and we are the fastest growing direct sales company nationally, and get this, also the fastest growing direct sales company internationally. That's never happened with a 33-year-old company. And we're producing residual income at a rate of speed that is absolutely untouchable compared to any business model out there. Listen, we all have credibility, and we can either work upon that credibility, or we can do an injustice to that credibility, depending on the business that we're in. If you are open to finding a business that truly can create lifelong residual income, I will tell you that you can't find a better place than here. Just a few points why our business model is having this success. Well, we've got consumables for all, consumable products for all, have to buy products. They're necessity items. They're not luxury items. It's things that you're already currently buying, using, and reordering on a monthly basis, but they're more natural, more green and organic. But here's the second point. They've got to be priced right. We're literally Walmart or below price point. So if you've got more natural, green, organic products that are Walmart or below price point, you can keep customers for a lifetime. And here's the third piece. We don't ask people to buy more than what they would normally consume of these type of products on a monthly basis, allowing people to stay active, not having to buy 100 or 200 a month of nutritional products or weight loss products or skincare miracle creams. And there are some great products. I'm not saying that as a derogatory statement, but when you start asking people to buy more than they normally buy of a certain product at a higher price point, that leads to high attrition in a business. I think you'll be really pleasantly surprised based upon some of these concepts that I just shared, necessities for all, priced right, and not infringing on anybody's budget in the sense of staying active, and not asking anybody to sell a certain amount to stay active. Really awesome that we can base it on pure consumption. Even for a single family home, I think it's awesome. So if you'd like to find out, again, the business model that I have deemed and I have chosen, and many other now industry leaders, and one of the fastest growing nationally and internationally, growing business that's solid, would love to chat with you. Would love to speak to you after you look at the information. So click the link below to find out the business model that we have chosen that has created lifelong residual income. And if you're looking to build a business to last a lifetime compared to a lunchtime, I think you'll find a home here. And again, if you are doing well in Plexus Slim, continue to do that. If you're finding high retention at over 95, 96%, great. With the leadership that I have talked to, it seems to be a big hole at the bottom of the boat and having to fill it up faster than it's actually falling out the bottom. So again, this is Jason Fisher from timeandfreedom.com. Click the link below to find out the business model that we have chosen, and we'd be excited to chat with you if that information makes sense. Have a great day.